Oh my God, under personal comments, New York Knicks rule.
Yeah, the Knicks rule.
What's up, Knicks Nation? Welcome to episode 7 of the Buckets Weekly podcast. I was out of town last week, so we've got two podcasts to jam into one. And I'm recording this in half time of Brazil versus Switzerland in the World Cup. So let's get right into it. Quick recap. I'm going to be going over Frank, keeping up with his off-season as we always do. I'm going to be looking at all of our workouts that we've held leading up to the draft. We're now 5 days from the draft, I think it is. So just going to go over the key prospects. A lot of them might not fall to us. If we're lucky, a lot of them will. But we're going to go over them anyway. Nick's done a great job at giving media access and stuff to these guys that came in to do workouts with us, which was great. So we're going to go over that. We've got a few more of our young rooks popping up in the podcast. We're keeping up with them. We've got our official coaches. Now, I thought it was set. We had 5 coaches on the books. Howard Isley still remains with the team, though his position is not confirmed as of yet. But we did have a breaking news, people. We had a new signing. Caleb Canales has come from the Mavs, so we'll be talking about him as well. And all of the other coaches that we've officially hired and what Coach Fizz has to say about all the guys. We're also going to go into Kyrie Irving to the Knicks, Kawhi Leonard to the Knicks, how we do it, why we do it, should we do it, shan't we do it, blah, blah, blah. We're going to talk about that. And yeah, this crazy offseason and how 2019's already causing quite a stir. We're going to talk a little bit of KP. Actually, I'm going to start with KP. Just get it out of the way. I like to finish on the fun stuff, but I'm going to break the rules and I'm going to start and finish on the fun stuff today. Why not? KP, I put it on the gram just now on the Buckets Weekly Instagram page on the story there. There was a TMZ article because he posted on his story about, must have been yesterday, maybe even today, just saying, going offline. The boys are ready for Zante. I think it's Zante in Greece or somewhere, one Greek island. So he's gone offline. He's gone 0 dark 30 for his holiday, so he knows it's going to be good. And TMZ had an article with him just jumping off of yachts with like ladies. I'm just going to say ladies. You go check out the story. You decide for yourself. But the ACLs are looking fine. That's the point here, people. So yeah, KP, he stays winning. He thought he was going offline, but you can't hide these days. But yeah, at least he's having a good holiday, enjoying the off-season. In the way he's jumping off that yacht, he's going to play next year, guys. He's going to play. There's no way you can be doing that and then miss a whole year of basketball. When you're the self-proclaimed lizard or gecko or whatever he is of healing. So yeah, good to get that in early because that's definitely good news. There's not a lot of bad news actually. You know what, Knicks? We had Dotson. He was saying a few days ago, I had a phone interview with the Post, Damian Dotson. He was saying how Fizdales already changing the culture in New York. Just doing little things. Like obviously they went to see the Eastern Conference Finals, but little things and just developing the players and getting working early. We saw that great picture on Instagram of Frank Ntilikina, Dotson, and Cornette working out together. So that's great to see. We all know Coach Fizdale. He says all the right things. He does all the right things. He's a player's coach. But yeah, it's good to get some confirmation from our young guys, as well as just like seeing that players are excited to play with him. On the subject of Fizdale, we're going to talk a bit more about Fizdale. He comes up, but him and his wife Natasha, I think it is, they have like birthdays 6 days apart, so they had a big birthday bash. And again, if you didn't see the story, Fizdales, you guys stay winning. That's all I'll say on the subject. But happy birthday, Coach, and wife of Coach. So let's get into it. We'll start with Frank. He was helping Jazz rookie Donovan Mitchell. This is really cool because they've had some kind of bond, some kind of friendship from like draft day. So looking at the year that Mitchell had, it's just good to have, because I don't know what it is about Frank, but he's an outcast. He was an outcast at the draft. There was all these like funny memes that came out because he's just like stood there stone faced, like I'm gonna kill everybody. At like the NBA like Panini photo shoot and things like that. There was one when the MVP of the Rising Stars game was not Rising Stars, World v USA and the rookies and whatever, and like he was just behind the guy that won MVP, just like looking stone faced, like Stone Cold Steve Austin. But it's good to see this relationship that he's developing with Donovan Mitchell. And it was really good that he invited him in the offseason. They basically carried it on into the offseason. I think it was Cincinnati or somewhere. Donovan Mitchell was having this basketball camp, and he invited Frank Ntilikina to go help. So again, I put a great video on the gram of Ntilikina going through the Eurostep, being the French player there. Just like teaching kids about the Eurostep and this like funny, cocky American guy like, oh, so it's not a travel. But yeah, that's really cool to see that those two are like linking up in the off season. About 2 days later, Donovan Mitchell was in New York working out with C. Brickley, so you hope that him and Frank got like some private runs in together, and just working in the off season. Frank taking from Mitchell, and just those two building together is exciting. For Frank to have that caliber rookie with him as well. Because Frank probably feels, and I think a lot of people feel, a lot of scouts felt before the draft, that Frank has the potential to just wow people. And that's another thing I wanted to say with the new coach we just hired, which I'll get onto later, is when you look at this offseason he's having and the season ahead, you can't help but be super, super excited. So yeah, the bond between him and Donovan Mitchell and helping Donovan in his camp and just getting acclimated and just getting comfortable in like the US and stuff, because he was in Paris a long time and he just came back. So that's really cool to see. Let's get on to our college workouts. First and foremost, the guy we've quote unquote got the hots for, Trae Young. He came in, apparently looked really good in his workout. Praised Fizz a lot. They all had mini presses. Again, if you were looking at the gram, you'll see that they all had presses after. And sort of reporters asked them the run-of-the-mill questions. But one thing that Trae Young seemed to harp on about and really focus on was Fizdale. He had a lot of good things to say about Fizdale. How he's a player's coach and like would be a pleasure to play under a coach like that. He's I think his camp, it seems to me like the top 10 projected picks, their camps think they're going to go top 4, so it's going to be interesting who does slide. But I think he's going to go higher, to be quite honest, this next Steph Curry thing. But it was cool that he only worked out for 4 teams, and the Knicks were one of the teams. So I think he worked out for Atlanta, but anyway, Knicks were one of those teams that he chose, which is cool, because for someone that doesn't expect themselves to land there, but also show interest in the franchise, that to me just shows like, look, if we don't have that reputation anymore, free agents are too scared of New York or blah blah blah. But it's good that young guys want to see New York and feel New York and see what it's like. He's talking about the city and the Mecca. I mean, they all did, obviously. But it's cool that he chose us. Praise Fizz, and again looked good in his workout. So when you're talking about talent and Perry taking the talent, you would think of all of the guys that we did work out: Mikal Bridges, Carter Jr., Kareem Cantor, actually, all those guys. He's probably going to be the best available talent if he does drop to number 9. So you've got to think, if he's available, we'd take him, whether we trade him or there's moves to acquire what we do need, which is more of a wing. Then we shall see. But it was cool to see. I mean, I've only seen like ESPN interviews and First Take and like just like draft tapes and whatever. But it's cool to see him just like talk about his workout with the Knicks and yeah, that would raise my respect for Trae Young, actually. I think I might have mentioned that on the last podcast, but yeah. So Mikal Bridges, he was next up. He said it was a compliment. His game would compliment KP. To be honest, whose game wouldn't compliment KP? He got that massive guy that can do everything. Any guy that can do other things or the same things you put around him, they're going to complement each other. Great players will make KP a bit better, and KP will make everyone amazing. So, obvious statement, but this is my favorite guy. In like potentially around number 9. Again, I personally, I'd be surprised if he does fall to number 9, but I think he's my favorite pick. Firstly, he fits everything that we need right now on our roster. His attitude on and off the court, he's sort of got that like killer mentality on the court, and then he's very collect and mature off the court. So that kind of athlete and that kind of mentality in New York, I think would be great. But it seemed like he had a good workout as well. Really, the only highlight was that he said it was a pleasure to play with KP. Similar to Duke's Wendell Carter Jr., he came and worked out, and he said that it would be an honor to play with KP. I don't know if these guys realize KP might not play next year. So if they did get drafted by the club, they might not be playing with KP, at least for like maybe until Christmas, if he does come back next year. But either way, these guys on their individual merit would be great additions to our squad. These long, athletic wings. Kareem Kanter, it seemed a little bit like a courtesy workout. Obviously, Ennis being a center for the Knicks. But either way, it was cool to see. He thanked the Knicks for the opportunity. He was working out that same day with his brother in the Tarrytown facility, which is great to see. Whether or not we draft him, to be honest, I didn't look much further than it being a courtesy workout. I don't know if he'll probably be available at 9. Whether he's the best available remains to be seen. Had a decent year, but yeah, it was cool. It was cool to see him work out anyway, and whether it was courteous or not, you still work out. Plenty of guys just on the off chance you're looking at second rounds and blah blah blah. So it was cool. It was cool to see them, especially working and like Ennis Kanter hazing him in the gym after the workout was pretty funny. Michael Porter Jr. Now, unfortunately, I have the most to say about Michael Porter Jr. because it's not good, people. It's not good. This guy, let me break it down for you. Great player when he was playing. Great player. I thought when people were saying that he could be available for the Knicks, I was like, say what? Last I heard, this guy was projected to be a number 1 pick. Looking at all the tapes and stuff, like he's like a cocky guy. Okay, like fits the bill. This guy's gonna be a baller. But I think it's 3 games of college basketball he plays. He injures his back. He gets back surgery, and now his stock's fallen to possibly being available at number 9. Now his camp think he's going top 4. But he hasn't released his medical records to any team except Chicago. And then he's given Chicago permission to release said records to a handful of select teams, the Knicks being one of them. I don't know if we ever got to see those records. He was holding a private workout for the Knicks. He had an open workout, which the Knicks had representation there. But then he was set to have a private workout with the Knicks, probably with Mills and Perry there too, last Friday. And then he cancelled on Thursday. No one knows why. His camp seemed to think that he's going top 4, so why do we show the Knicks? But fact is, case in point, I don't think he's worked out for anyone besides Chicago. Now, he's openly said that he wants to be drafted by Chicago. He's commenting on things saying, I'd rather go to the Bulls, blah, blah, blah. You know what? Let them take the risk. This guy's a huge, huge question mark. When you've got the Bridges, the Carter Juniors, Trae Young even, like, if he's available, these guys aren't question marks. Porter Jr. is a big one. And you could easily argue that he's not giving his medical records away because his draft stock's already been hurt too much. He's not letting teams see him play because his draft stock's already dropped from 1 to 9. Why would they let it drop further? If he can't shoot a 3-pointer without pain, there's all these question marks, which, okay, shoot me down, I might be wrong, but if I'm wrong, prove it. Prove it. Work out for a team. Run an NBA workout. I know before the draft, leading up to the draft, it's all mind games and blah, 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 blah. But, come on, man. Ball up, Ball up, baller. So hopefully, if MPJ is available, I hope we don't take him. If we can take him and then trade him before he even bounces a basketball, that could work. But any other situation, I don't know about MPJ, man. So that's pretty much it for the main guys that we had work out for us. The workouts continue. I think Beagley posted a tweet 2 days ago saying that about 8 or 10 guys that could be available like late to early first round, they're going to invite to like a group workout with the Knicks. So yeah, 5 days. I don't know. Well, I think it should be Mikal Bridges. Let me know. Go at me. And tell me who you think. When I posted the MPJ post on the gram, that got people going in the comments. Majority of it being, yeah, this guy, too much of a question mark. We had one guy who was like a Knicks page, but had a Bulls logo as his icon. And he was saying, oh, best player in the draft, blah, 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 and like bigging him up and whatever. So I was like, MPJ burner account alert, which wouldn't surprise me. But yeah, so there's a lot of promising talent that we're talking about. I think it could very easily be that none of these guys are available at number 9. Maybe one of anybody. When you look at 1 through 10. But the top half of the second draft as well is what gets me really excited, because there's so much potential there. I don't get the discrepancy, but there's a lot of potential early second round. But we shall see. The next podcast, the draft would have been. So next podcast we'll be talking about who we did draft, and we'll be analysing that. I'm looking forward to that. The people we've already drafted are young rooks. I've told you about the picture of Cornette working out with Dotson and Frank Ntilikina. I've told you about the interview where Dottie's bigging up Fizz and la-di-da. Cornette got engaged. Congratulations, Lou Cornette. He's a good guy. Why not get engaged? We saw him a few days later with Troy Williams supporting the Liberty. KO was there. Coach was there, actually. Fizdales was there. So these off-the-court things with our young guys and our coach and a few vets peppered in there, I like that a lot. Our coaches. So we've officially got Royal Ivy. He's born in Harlem, 10-year NBA vet, assistant for OKC. We've got Keith Smart. He was a head coach. I didn't realize this. Keith Smart. All I know was that he knocked out Cuse in like 87 with like some ridiculous shot, and everyone's still a bit sour about that. But I didn't realize he's held head coaching positions in the past for the Cavs, the Warriors, and the Kings. That's pretty cool. Green light, thumbs up. Keith Smart has always been like the one solid to come onto the assistant coaching staff. So it's good to see. We can see why when you look at his resume. It's good to see that finally went down. Judd. Now I'm not sure how to pronounce this. Bushler or Bushley. That's going to be way wrong. Apologies if I got that wrong and you're like, what is this guy saying right now? His nickname is The Judge. So there we go, The Judge. And he looks like a beast as well. And again, 11-year NBA vet. He got the Judge nickname for playing volleyball in college, which is, okay, cool beans. Former Lakers assistant. Next up, we got Pat Sullivan. Assistant for the Pistons on the title run, so worked quite closely with Perry, knows Perry. He had a long time success, a lot of success in the Final Four as a player, 4 times I think in the Final Four. Howard Isley, he remains with the team, though his position's not guaranteed yet. They haven't. A few weeks ago, when they announced that these are our coaches, they did say that Howard Isley remained on the squad and is going to have something to do with the team, whether he goes into scouting or into the G League. But yeah, you want him to stick around, and it's good that the Knicks aren't releasing him. And again, like I said today, breaking, Caleb Canales. I'm not sure where he's from. He looks like kind of Greek maybe or something like that. He's probably like from like Alabama or something. I don't But he was a Mavs. He's worked with the Mavs since 2013. And then he was an interim head coach in 2012 for the Portland Trailblazers. I was reading a lot about him on Twitter, and people were bigging up the fact, like, how passionately he talks about offense. Like, people talk about offense and defense, and people always nag about defense. Like, the offense will find himself. These guys will put the ball in the hole, but you have to teach defense. But let's not forget about offense. You do have to put that ball in the hole, so it's good to always have at least one person who's harping on about get the ball in the hole. So a little golf reference. Shout out Ron Baker, watching golf at the moment, enjoying the off season. Nice. So yeah, it's good to have him because people were saying he's very passionate about offense. He values speed, decision making, passing, and these key things that people are pointing out are key things that jump out to me that need developing in Frank Ntilikina's game. So you see Frank Ntilikina hungry this offseason. You bring in a coach who's devoted to everything Frank Ntilikina needs to improve, and he looks like a nice guy as well. So him and Frank, I can see already just gelling and getting work done and just polishing Frank Ntilikina's game. So yeah, reading about Caleb got me really excited because hopefully, like when Frank's driving in the lane and he's like, do I shoot, do I pass, and sort of just hits bodies and goes for like a half-ass layup, you know. Only toward the end of the season, last season, was he starting to think, right, I'm going to drive it, use my length, get to the rim. I'm going to swag on you a little bit, pull up. But you didn't see that throughout this season. And then hopefully having this addition into the preseason and the rest of the year, hopefully it doesn't take that long. I mean, the way these guys are working, I wouldn't be surprised if he's already working with Frank right now. So it's good to see that they've obviously seen that in him and thought about, well, I don't know if they thought that. I would assume they have. It seems like a no-brainer. What does Frank need? This guy. Let's get this guy. But yeah, that's an exciting late signing to the ball club. But it's rounding out really nicely. So there are coaches. Fizdale said they're a diverse group, high character guys, highly motivated, all green check marks. A little bit cliche, but you wouldn't want him to say anything else really. Tireless workers, reliable, intense passion to win. You feel like, I'll get onto this in a sec, but you feel like with these signings and stuff, people saying they want to come to the Knicks, it's more business than basketball. And would you really want someone to join your ball club with business prioritized over basketball? No. You want them to win basketball games, and you want them to do nothing but win basketball games, to be quite honest. That's all they got to care about. So it's cool that Fizz says our coaches, they want to win, man. If the coaches want to win, they're not going to be taking a back seat. They're not going to be reclining on the bench, and they're not going to be just saying, I'm going to just cash my check and tell this guy he needs to go do this, and that's that. If they want to get this ball club to win, if they're as cohesive as Fizdale and Perry and Scott already are, Scott and Steve, sorry. If they're as cohesive as they already are, and we get that serious, tight core that are just doing everything from a coaching perspective, and then we've got the pieces around for them to just help flourish, and then we got a scary team, man. We're going to be having that parade in New York in no time. Call me a dreamer, Knicks Nation. But yeah, so these trades, let's start with Kyrie Irving. He's not signed his extension, so he will be a free agent in 2019, which is when the Knicks are looking to be players. Apparently the report was, now this just came from people within the Cavs, I think. Whether it was players or not, I don't know. But it was speculated that he had talked to his teammates about playing for the Knicks when he was on Cleveland. We now know, obviously, Kyrie wanted out of Cleveland. But for him to be saying to like, oh, hey, JR, man, what was it like on the Knicks? I really want to go to the Knicks, man. That's going to be sweet. For him to be saying that excites me a lot. Because, obviously, I only played about 60 games last season. Or this season, whatever you want to call it now. No, last season. Season's over, man. Congrats, Golden State. Ugh. I'll edit that out. But yeah, for him to want to come here, I mean, obviously he didn't end up signing with the Knicks. Last offseason was a roller coaster. But if he's not signing and he wants to be a free agent when the Knicks, because I think he loses out on money if he doesn't sign right away with the ball club he's already on. But for him to say, I'm not signing it, I want to be free agent, I want to entice the Knicks, I want the Knicks to entice me. Wally Zerbiak of MSG Networks, he was saying that this would be incredible because the Knicks need nothing more than a point guard, which at first shocked me because I was like, really, another point guard? We've just had Baker pick up his option. We've got Moutier in the trade. We've got Frank in the draft. We got Trey Burke from the G League. We really need another point guard. People saying we're going to draft Trey Young and that we got the hots for Trey Young. I mean, you talk about a logjam at center. We got a massive twig jam at the one position. But he was going on about if you're going to have that superstar, you've got KP, who's establishing himself very quickly as a megastar. And then you've got Kyrie at the one, who's a solidified best handles in the league, flashiest player, just incredible. One of the best guards in the league, easily actually. Now I say that. But for Wally Zerbiak's point, was that you need that star at point. And that filters down to the rest of your team. Whereas if you've got stars dotted about, but you've got like a nervous rookie bringing it up the court, then that's taking your game down a few pegs right off the bat, which I understood. I got that. The thing is, I think Frank's going to be an absolute beast this year. I think Trey Burke's going to be same old Trey Burke, which is amazing. Just fighting and grafting and just doing everything, crowd favorite. So I think to be honest, our group of guards who have been working out together in the offseason already, I think that unit is going to be tight, hungry, fierce, and I can't wait to see them ball out. First, second, third string. But yeah, if you can get Kyrie, and you can keep like the key parts of that original core, and Kyrie's a dude who he's gonna see that and want to be a part of that. And it's going to be a quick integration, and it's going to just fuel it even more. And before you know it, it snowballs to the rest of the team. And the Knicks, you talk about being relevant again. We're going to be dominant again. Oh my goodness. So yeah, that's Kyrie not picking up the option, sort of hinting. I mean, you hint to yourself really. You talk yourself into all of this. But that to me, after saying he wants to play for the Knicks, kinda reports, you know how it is. But then not signing with the Celtics. I mean, looking at the season that the Celtics have just had as well, of all of their young guys and without Hayward, and they got to the Eastern Conference Finals. They gave LeBron James a run. Do you need to go back to that team? To be quite honest, I mean, it would have been amazing if he was playing in the finals against LeBron after the whole narrative of, I want my own team. I want to be the man on my own team. And then that faces like the man on his old team. And you know how it goes. The NBA is just one incredible soap opera. But, I mean, now there's talks of, that didn't happen. And now there's talks of LeBron James is going to the Celtics. There's talks of LeBron James going 1 through 30 teams. But this one of him going to the Celtics, I mean, people give it a lot of steam. But come on, man. Unless, like, Kyrie, Danny Ainge have, like, that talk, they're like, yeah, go for it. But, yeah, I mean, if Kyrie's already out, then and he wants on the Knicks next year, then I'm making that trade. I'm going to get that done by nearly any means, to be quite honest with you. Again, whenever I give my opinion, I like to encourage you guys to clap back with yours. Usually I'm on the consensus, I'm pretty spot on, but there are always people out there which need to be heard. And you should be heard. So shout at me, yell, tweet, @ whatever, hashtag, blah, blah, blah. Let me know. Moving on, Kawhi Leonard breaking. Now I'm reading off of my Insta page here. Kawhi Leonard wants out of the San Antonio Spurs. Wow. Wow. Excuse me while I check myself. That is crazy. Firstly, Kawhi Leonard wants anything. Kawhi Leonard spoke. That's incredible. Secondly, the Spurs have got drama? Wow. I mean, this was a long storyline from long before the end of the season. But for it to culminate in this, now the gloves are off, the season's over. You saw like Coach Pop taking jabs and Ginobili taking jabs, like snide jabs at Kawhi. You never know if you would go into that conclusion yourself or if that was actually a thing. If it was inadvertent or not, but wow. Now, here's the thing. During that whole narrative, it was all about his camp, i.e. his apparent very boisterous uncle. Sort of a Lavard Ball type, but in the Kawhi bloodline, so a little quieter, of course. But it was sort of, a lot of it was fueled, I mean, we all know Kawhi barely says anything. So it seemed like a lot of it was fueled by his uncle and what he had to say and his thoughts. And that held a lot of weight in the outcome, obviously with this report that Kawhi wants out of the Spurs. So let's not dismiss it when Kawhi is saying one thing and his camp/uncle are saying another. Because it seemed like, scrolling through Twitter like a madman, this was broken by everybody. In fact, I actually put at the end of my Insta post, via everybody. Because this is just anyone with a Twitter account, basically. I've never seen anything quite so spread. Like, they really wanted to be heard, and they were loud and clear. But what intrigued me was the fact that it seemed like Kawhi's preferred destination is the Lakers. Now, the Lakers can't have everybody. You look at them this year, they've got space for 2 maxes. They can go get LeBron, they can go get Paul George. You can't let them trade like the back end of their roster and get Kawhi as well. Holy moly. You just can't let that happen. But then when you see his camp think the best place might be New York, or the camp want to see him play in New York, I mean, it was his camp that wanted him out of San Antonio, really. So you hold a lot of weight with that, and that's what excites me, because, again, I'm taking Kawhi, man. Probably my second favorite player in the league, the best two-way player in the league. When he's healthy, I mean, it's a bit of a worry that it took him a year to get right from a hamstring, and we don't know if he's still right or not. But yeah, I'm taking Kawhi. If he wants to come to New York, yeah, Kawhi, go. People have been saying like all these different packages. There's a lot of teams that have more to offer the Spurs in a trade, but I mean, people are saying packages of KP, which is blasphemy. Frank, which to me is blasphemy. Tim Hardaway Jr. I mean, all of these things, you know. Could I do that to get Kawhi? I'm just thinking to myself right now. I mean, I'm still not decided, but I don't think I could. I couldn't. Everything that we got going here, the core of coaches, Dolan staying out of the way, and the culture change in New York, and all of these guys like buying in, to just blow that up, just to bring one guy, one silent mute, one amazing mute. But you know, it just seems like blowing it up. I mean, that's what it would be. Again, it's not going to wait until 2019. He wants out now. But, man, imagine landing Kawhi without losing KP. Possibly without losing THJ. Without losing, you might have to give up Frank. We'd certainly have to give up our picks. Oh, man. Could you do it? Could you get Kawhi for that? Without that, of course you take Kawhi. But this is why I prefer the Kyrie signing. Again, going back to Wally Zerbiak's point, it's a point guard. It's a superstar. It's a vocal leader. Someone who's going to thrive in New York. I don't know if I'm mistaken, but is he native? I know he was born in Melbourne, but was he raised in the New York area? I'm not sure. But let's call him a homegrown kid for now. But you wonder, you would rather, take that, because in 2019, when he'll be a free agent, the Knicks have got the cash on the hip to go get him. And if both parties from 2 years prior want to be an item, shall we say? That doesn't sound right. But if they want to make that happen, then you go ahead and make that happen. But I think too much would have to change to get Kawhi to the Knicks, as amazing as that would be. Another way to look at it, another angle, is what I mentioned earlier. His camp saying that he wants to be in New York. It seems like his business, you know? And again, do you want a player there for business, not basketball? You've got a lot of players now going places because of the destination. You got Paul George wants to go to LA. He's got his family there. He's an LA kid. It's probably the similar reasons Kyrie wants to play here. In New York, that is. You've got LeBron James. Lakers are an instant favorite. It doesn't matter that the Lakers suck. It doesn't matter. These guys want to go there because Paul George has his family. LeBron James has 2 houses out there. So if he's going to uproot his family, which is a big point in his decision making, a big factor. If he's going to have to uproot them, then at least they're sort of half settled already in LA. Even though, by the way, LeBron, your home did get broken into and vandalized and whatever. So just saying. New York, your home's too high in the ground. Too high in the sky for anyone to spray anything on the side. Let's not get into that. Let's not get in. Whoa. Pump the brakes on LeBron to New York. Let's focus on Kyrie and Kawhi for now. The decision part 3 is just too big and too soon. But yeah, the point is destination seems to be a massive factor now in where players want to go, more than the surrounding cast, so to speak. I mean, obviously New York is New York, so it's always going to be a business. But you have people saying I want to play with KP. It would be an honor to play with KP. It would be great to play with KP. I can't wait to play with KP. So you have that surrounding cast attracting to New York. The coach absolutely is attracting players. And that's another thing that's helped the culture change, is people want to come to New York now. But when they want to come to New York just for business, then, maybe let them go somewhere else. If you're going to have to blow up your team to bring in a star that just wants to help his brand and just reap all the benefits and not really care about bringing a chip to New York, then don't blow it up. Don't blow it up. Keep guys that are invested. Invested is the wrong use of the word when I'm talking about business, but you know what I mean. Invested in basketball, wanting to win basketball games, having some pride in what they do. So if Kawhi wants to come for business, or his camp wants to come for business, I'd rather him go to LA where he wants to play. Even if LA are going to form some kind of super team, and then I'm done. But yeah, so I like the Kyrie news. I like the Kawhi news as well, of course. I mean, I was jumping out my seat. But, yeah, Kyrie to New York. LeBron anywhere. Kawhi, I mean, I don't know where he's going to go. But the Knicks, I don't think the Knicks are going to take the bait and blow it up. Again, we shall see. But I think Scott and Steve have their vision, and they have their heads screwed on and their feet on the ground. So I don't think they're going to get carried away and doing anything too crazy. So that's it for today's podcast. We've done Frank, working with Donovan, working hard. I mean, so many. Every other day there's a new Frank Ntilikina grinding and working. So we've done him, keep it up on his off season, and we continue to do the same. We've gone over our draft prospects: Trae Young, Mikal Bridges, draft him. Wendell Carter Jr., Kareem Cantor, MPJ, don't draft him. Frank, he's been working a lot with Brickley as well, C. Brickley, which is cool. And Tim Hardaway Jr. has been working with him, so you like that again, that rookie and that vet mix. What else have we had? Dottie, he's been talking, bigging up Fizz. Cornette, again, congratulations on the engagement. Happy birthday, Fizdales. What else have we had? Yep, all our coaches. I think that's it now. All signed, all on the books. I don't know if there'll be any more. We'll see where Howard Isley ends up. Again, hopefully something to do with the team, particularly in the Knicks for me. Stay with the familiar guys in terms of players and staff. Fizz again, big on the group that we're bringing in. And yeah, the trades, the off season. It's a lot of it depends on draft day. So I think on the next podcast when we're talking about drafts, I mean who we drafted and where do we go next, and then possible off-season trades and signings and blah blah blah. Then we can begin to look at that aspect of it a little bit more, in terms of signings and trades. But for now, we've got them two big rumors and two big names: Kyrie next year, Kawhi this year. I actually saw, now I don't know if this is real, but I saw someone put in the ESPN trade machine a trade straight up: Joakim Noah, Kawhi Leonard, and the trade machine accepted. I don't know if that was real or not, but the Knicks, if you can make it happen, the Spurs love a big man. If just imagine, oh my god, I mean, I'm getting excited just thinking about it. You get rid of Noah, you bring in Kawhi. Oh, that's too good. That's a joke. Someone's got to be trolling me there. Let me know if they are. But yeah, that's it. That's it for episode 7. Peace out, New Station!